The last thing that I'm going to go over with superelevation lane manipulation and creation is creating a CSV for creating a CSV that you can import into these superelevation lanes. So really quickly, I'm just going to delete out these lanes again. And I'm going to create those same lanes by template again. Just doing the same thing. And I'm also going to delete these shoulders again because they're giving me a little bit of grief. But this is just going back to having a clean super elevation set. There's no super elevation actually applied to these lanes yet. This is a guide to creating a CSV file that will let you that you can import into your superelevation templates. This will be available via our training files later. But if you want to come back to this presentation, I'll keep this up for a little while and kind of talk about everything. When I show you the CSV file, these will be the 7 columns that you want to create. I find creating CSV files in Excel to be the easiest. You can do it in Notepad. You can do it using whatever CSV file works for you. I like using Excel because it helps me visually sort everything. So the first thing that you're going to have is the superelevation lane name. The way that I use it personally is I'll have lane underscore description of lane or shoulder underscore description of shoulder. So for example, kind of moving down here, if I had a left auxiliary lane, I would call it lane L aux. That's kind of the description here. If I was looking at the right lane, just the first one out from my center line, it's the right lane first from the center line. The next column is going to be the station at which a superelevation point occurs. So the way that this gets handled is you don't want to have a plus sign in this column here. It's just going to be sort of the pure number of that station. So station 200 plus 00 is 20,000. Station 304 plus 25.3 is 30,423.3. It's just a pure number. Don't have the plus sign in there for your stationing. Next is the cross slope at that point. You're going to be using it in decimal notation. So you can see this minus 0.02 is, that's your 2%. 3.2% would be 0.032. This pivot about over here is the next column. Again, it's a little bit counterintuitive, unfortunately. If you're looking to control a lane on the right side, you're actually going to use this left side pivot. If you're looking to control a lane on the left side, you're going to use a right side pivot. Point types. These are the point type descriptions I would recommend using. There are other point types that you can include in here, but these are really the only ones that you'll ever need if you are creating a CSV file to be imported. So you've got normal crown, reverse crown, full super, undefined. Transition types. If you're doing a very simple, roadway design, using linear transitions makes sense. If you're doing something that's a little bit more detailed in terms of the level of design, and you need to, determine roadway smoothness, lane line smoothness, all that, utilizing these different types of curves will be necessary. So this is the list of codes that you can use to create those curves. And then the final column is nonlinear curve length. If you are using a linear curve, you'll put a 0 in this column. For anything else, the parameters for that curve will be in this column. So if you're using a parabolic curve and you have a 70-foot transition length, that's where you'll put this 70. Now I've created a CSV here that I will import into the superelevation lanes that I created. But you can see here, these are following all of those codes that I mentioned earlier. Yes, cool. I did include undefined as a type here. But you can see now it's normal crown, full super, undefined, reverse crown. I've got all of my different lanes here, lane names here, and the points and the superelevation values at those points. So this is a superelevation CSV that I've created. I'm going to go ahead and import that. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to import superelevation here. And I'm going to navigate to where that is. I have it in my working folder on ProjectWise right now. So I'll grab it, open, and I'm going to snag my superelevation section and apply it. It's going to bring up this dialog here. So these are the superelevation lane names that I have. Again, these are taken just from the template directly. And then these are the labels that are in my CSV. So it's asking me which of these labels I want to apply to each lane. So you can choose those from the drop downs. I'm going to hit OK. You can see now that all of those have been imported. One thing to note here is that when you import this way, none of those constraints are going to get applied automatically. So if you want to use those constraints in your superelevations, none of those are automatically applied. You can see all of these points now are green. They are free of any controls. You can just edit them in here. That's importing superelevation. I think we'll stop the recording there and take questions. No, we're coming right up against the end.